Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So today's video I wanted to do a part 2 of why I regret my wedding. I feel like in the last video I left out some of the facts and why I regret it and why it was so kind of traumatic for me. So some of the facts are, when my sister got married, I wasn't expecting the exact same experience as her, of course, because it was going to be two different kind of weddings. But I kind of expected or hoped to have kind of a similar experience than she did. Well, that was complete opposite of what she had. When it came time to go a wedding dress shopping for my sister, we went with her, now mother-in-law, my mom, her, and me. We all went wedding dress shopping, and it was so amazing seeing her trying on so many dresses, and she just looked beautiful, and the more she put on, the more and more beautiful, she looked with each and every dress. And, when you're in that kind of situation and you're engaged, it's like you can't wait for your turn of when you get to try on dresses. Well, that never came for me. Nobody really did take the time to go dress looking with me. And I didn't want to go by myself because I feel like it's kind of lame when you go and try on wedding dresses and you come out of the dressing room and there's just nobody there. I mean, nobody's there to give you their opinion or ooh and ah or, anything like that. So I didn't want to go by myself because I felt it was kind of lame and odd. So I eventually had to order a wedding dress online, and which was hard for me. Of course, I think it would be for any bride of having to order a wedding dress online. I think what was really sad for me was when my wedding dress came in, I tried on my wedding dress all by myself in my bathroom, and there was nobody there. There was nobody there to help me put it on or say what they thought of it. Not like they could have said it looked bad and I'd get another one. I mean, I had bought the dress. There's nothing that they could have said. But when you go wedding dress shopping for your wedding and you're trying on your very first wedding dress, it's sad when you're just by yourself and you've never tried on a wedding dress. You don't know what looks good on your body or, what you like and don't like until you're in a dress. And that was very hard. That was probably one of the hardest things about my whole wedding experience. That was very traumatic for me. But, in the end, I don't love the dress. I don't like the dress, but I'm so thankful that I had a dress to put on. So I know so many people who, don't have the luxury of getting a dress or being married in a white dress. So the next thing was my invitations. I loved the invitations I picked out. I absolutely loved them. They were just beautiful. I wish I had one to show, but I don't think I have one, which makes me even more sadder. But not all of them were sent out. So that was a big thorn in the whole plans of not all your wedding invitations were sent out to people. And I still have people today of, hey, I didn't know that you got married, or how long has it been since your wedding, and I never got an invitation, or anything like that, or people not knowing that I got married, or how long it's been since I got married when I know I had them on my invitation list. So that sucks. Another big part was my florist got my flowers wrong. One thing, as a little girl, I always wanted real flowers. I did not want fake flowers. And growing up, I saw how expensive it is to have real flowers instead of silk. So, but that's just one thing I wanted, and fortunately, that's one thing that I got. I didn't have flowers everywhere. I did not. But she did get them wrong, the color. The actual flowers were right. The actual, let's see, I had spider mums, my favorite flower. But my wedding colors are blue, light blue, kind of like Tiffany blue, silver and white. And she had painted, or I guess she painted the flowers and whatnot, navy blue. So all of the flower colors were totally off from all the other kind of decorations I had. And that just made me so mad. But that day was so bad to begin with. And she'd wrapped my bouquet in this sparkly ribbon, and the glitter got everywhere, all over my dress, all over the church. I mean, a year later, I would walk in that church and I'd still see glitter everywhere from it. I mean, there's still glitter even from on my wedding dress from that day. So that kind of really put a hitch in it. Another thing is I didn't have like a bachelorette kind of party. Both of my sisters did. My sister and my sister-in-law, they kind of had like a bachelorette party with, their friends and whatnot, and I didn't have that. Not like I wanted one. I just wanted to hang out with my sisters and just, eat some food or watch some movies or just talk, and they weren't able to do that, which kind of sucks, because I kind of wanted the whole wedding experience, not necessarily the pinpoint exact like my sisters, but I wanted kind of like the normal experience, but, to each their own, I guess. Let's see, some of the facts. Oh, yes, right. I mentioned in the other video that my sisters were not there at my reception. That's because they were going to kind of spruce up and decorate the honeymoon suite for my husband and I. Well, apparently it wasn't done by the time my wedding was done. So, to buy time and to stall, I had to take my little brothers to the convenience store to get some snacks. I did not know at this time that they were still trying to decorate and clean up at the room, but it was pretty bad that on your wedding night, after your wedding where you're supposed to be with your husband, I had to drive my little brothers to the convenience store. So that was kind of like, really? Like, I get that you're trying to do a nice thing for me, but you missed my reception, and I'm having to take my little brothers to the convenience store. That was just kind of sad to me, but I'm thankful. I don't want to seem like I'm ungrateful for all the time and effort my family put into the wedding, because my family put so much time and effort into this wedding, and I'm very, very grateful for them for that, which they didn't have to do it, but they chose to do it, which was really, really nice. And probably one of the worst parts about my wedding was my husband and I, on our honeymoon night, which we didn't take a honeymoon because we couldn't afford it, which we still have never gone out, like, away, unless it's been up to East Texas to visit my family. But, we stayed in the same hotel as all of my family and his grandparents. That, I could not believe that I was doing that. I mean, it was kind of a surprise of the room for me and my husband. I really didn't know a whole lot about it, except that that was what my family was going to do, was going to get a room for me and my husband, that way we could have a night away. But thinking about it now, I'd rather have gone back to our apartment and been with him at our apartment instead of in the same hotel as my mom, siblings, grandmother, father, his grandmother, his aunt. That, yeah, I would totally take that back. The good thing from it, though, was my mom had gotten us a bottle of champagne, and I had totally drank that whole entire bottle by myself, and I was completely tipsy when I was saying goodbye to my family as they were leaving to go back home. I remember as I was about to come out of that hotel room, I was like, okay, I've got to act normal. I've got to, just be normal. And I remember telling my husband, I've got to just normal it up and just be calm, cool, and don't act like I'm, been tipsy or anything. But yes, I was a bit tipsy from drinking a whole bottle of champagne, because the day was just, the whole experience was hard. It really, really hard. And I'm thankful 4 years later, I'm over it somewhat. I definitely want to do a different kind of big wedding. Hopefully in 10 years, our 10-year anniversary, we'll have the money to do it. I definitely just want a whole different kind of experience, because I don't want this experience to be in my mind as my wedding. But I'm thankful that I had a wedding. I'm thankful my family was able to come down and see me get married, because I know a lot of people don't have that luxury or that privilege to do that. So I'm very, very thankful for that. I know that when I have my other sister-in-laws from my husband's side, when they get married, or my daughter gets married or my sons get married, I definitely know exactly the to-dos and the don'ts. Like, remember to pack underwear. Like, you can't wear the underwear of the pink, flowery stuff or red underwear what you're wearing underneath your white dress. So I had to go commando at my wedding because nobody was there to remind me, and I didn't think to pack underwear. So that is definitely something I have taken from this whole experience, is the do's and the don'ts. Well, I hope this wasn't too of a depressing story because it's a true life story. But I definitely want to do a part 2 because I feel like it didn't relay of how bad the experience was of my wedding. But on the brighter side, today marks 4 years with my wonderful husband, and I couldn't be happier. I hope we have tons and tons of years ahead of us, and anniversary parties and all that kind of stuff. But I'm very lucky to love my husband or just have the family that we do that could give me a wedding, you know. But I hope to see you in my next video. I'm really trying hard to put out good content and not say too many uhs or that. So working on it. I can only build, you know, up from here. So I hope you like my videos and see more soon. Bye.